For a quick peek onto the house into second mid, and the push comes in quickly here.
Yeah, they're not stopping at all, and Alu's already down because, as you said, he's tagged up, they saw him cross, so it comes down to Forrest and Exist. Get Right has rotated quickly, so initially he's at B. We'll see if that's going to be the case, but look at Neo. Forrest already down. Exist is in the pit. He's trying not to peek too much, but he's got damage, good damage done onto Neo as he crosses into the backside of the bomb site. But with the bomb down and Pasha all the way over at B for a giant flank, it's going to be crucial. He might be a little bit late, though, because Get Right's found one. Snacks is still coming out of apartment, though. Exist still alive, and Pasha's going to get there just in time. Freiburg's not going to see this coming at all, as Get Right's trying to flank on Snacks. So it's two players well and truly going wide, but there it is. Pasha pops out, and it looks like VP should be able to secure this because Get Right's down as well. And it still Exists, of all people, who stood there the entire round. And this time, Virtus.pro not going to get the same start they did last time.
Oh, yeah. And this is really annoying because, again, NiP not going to get those AWPs rolling for a while on Alu. And that's what can really get the momentum rolling for a CT side. We're seeing that more and more commonly in the top level. Having the ability to just quickly pop the AWP out for a three-man push on Banana before quickly rotating back towards A. And teams often do this like three-man setup early because the quick A push is just not in the metagame still. I mean, some teams are getting wise to it, and they're kind of playing those mind games with each other and going for those faster paces on A to blow up those three-man stacks on the B defense at the start of rounds. But, well, we'll have to see how it goes between these two teams as they feed each other out. Despite having played so much together in the past in important matches, it's definitely good to start at the basics. 3
at Archside right now. Finally, Forrest gets across. But they were playing 3 Archside with the pistols to try and counter that mid push. They go back into default formation now. Alu just trying to find some more information. Flash out on Freiburg. That pushes him back in B. Bomb's still not committed. So VP don't want to go in too strong here too quickly because that stack on the left side might have been detrimental. Instead, they'll be a little bit more calculated. In fact, they've actually pulled Exist off A by getting these kills now at B.
Yeah, a quick frag from Pasha. Going to rack up that money with the SMGs. Always very nice for the anti-ecoing side. And NiP didn't invest too hugely into this round. We see 5.7s, a kit, Kevlar, and a couple flashes was basically all they bought. So with the 5.7s. So yeah, it's not a huge investment, but some damage would certainly be welcome for NiP.
Alu, though, stayed inside the site. Looked stealth for a minute, but not able to connect the shot. So Snacks takes him down. Forrest still inside the pit, but the bomb's already down, and he can't find an angle at all, despite that Neo's on very low HP. He may get one up close, though, as Pasha tries to come up from above and over top of the truck. Get Right falling off, tagged up in library. It's a matter of time, or is it? Exist finding Taz. This gives them a bit of an opening. It's down to a 2-on-3, but they still don't have any weapons to work with, just the 5.7s.
This is quite cool, actually, because they can actually try and keep the 5.7s alive and go for some exits if they really want to. The problem is that they didn't have the ability to run towards quad side quickly enough. They would have been exposed in crossing towards that position as Virtus.pro were already kind of there. So they're just going to keep themselves alive, bring those 5.7s into the following round and see what they can get done there. Maybe some extra damage in the following round for them as they go for otherwise a full save so they can get that buy-in on the next round. And NiP, once they get Alu going with the AWP, things are going to start getting interesting, as he is quite proficient at the more aggressive kind of JW and Kenny S type pushes that you would normally expect from those players on the CT side.
So Get Right smokes out top mid. That slows them down a bit, but they've got 3 in Banana this time as opposed to last round. It was the opposite. 3 over at A. Smoke coming out from NiP at top Banana as well. That delays Pasha, but Get Right and Freiburg are already in position with Forrest and Exist, so they've stacked up on the B site. VP needs to find a way to get this information quickly because Alu's coming over to join as well. And that smoke off on CT, that's from Pasha. That'll slow them down just a little bit. But they're still there. They haven't been sold anything. They're going to sit tight. VP hasn't gone in either. They haven't committed, but there's no read. Snacks isn't pushing up A at all to get information, and they're going to go into this. This is going to be a fully stacked up B site, and VP's going to walk immediately into this. If Get Right can find these kills, he doesn't know where he is underneath the garden, gets one. That's already down. Freiburg with another. Bialy down as well. This stack is going to work. NiP throwing them apart as Freiburg with 2 more. VP not pushing forward, not getting any information, and just gambling on the site.
Yeah, I remember actually I remember some crazy rounds that looked exactly like this from NiP, just stacking that B site and teams just walking straight into it. And yeah, that's got to hurt because they survived with 3 players. They've got a lot of value they picked up there. And Freiburg even has the Tech 9 in hand as also, not that he needs it right now. He's got his Galil, but still quite an interesting turn of events as Virtus.pro don't get enough out of the momentum they had generated with that pistol win. And NiP are going to start building some crazy bank here unless Virtus.pro can get a win right now with this round. And we can see that they are with just over a minute left now to try to make something happen. Exist with a quick information play with a flash from a teammate. And 2 men on the arch side is a nice little mix-up to do occasionally. Does allow fast rotation to be, but also just keeping your opponents guessing on how many players are on either side as they push. But they have left quad side open. It's not going to matter too much now as NiP begin to fall further back into a more defensive setup. Virtus.pro almost there.
Yeah, there's no smokes to delay it. Get right in Freiburg. All they have are 2 flashes, 1 apiece to try and delay it a little bit, so they do get one out. Luckily, they got one thrown over from their teammate today. Exist is going to go in, though. Look at this. 2 kills for him already as Snacks is down, and they tried to execute onto A. Didn't come out as planned. Bialy finally gets the trade. But look at Get Right waiting inside CT. The second they cross over that archway, he's going to get an initial shot, a quick shot onto the first player, whoever it may be. In Forest, when you're in the pit, first man out of apartments, you're always going to go down if there's no support, and he makes it look easy. Yeah, and
it's good to see that Forest is playing the apartments and the quad side position as we all know and love, and we know him to be so good at that position. It's good to see the return of that because we did see them change it up at Katowice. For some reason, they decided to go for that. I'll have to try and grab him later and ask him and see if I can get that information to you guys straight from his mouth. See why they did change that up for that tournament. Either way, we're going to have the save coming in from Virtus.pro. They've invested in a couple grenades and P250s otherwise, just to keep themselves within the buy, so they can try at least to have some kind of impact in this round, as Glocks alone won't cut it, but that P250 certainly will. As Get Right plays closely here, and usually you would expect Freiburg to be the closer man, but he's waiting further back, and perhaps because Get Right is willing to just fall all the way back towards A and leave Freiburg on the site. We'll have to see as this push is about to hit.
Waits for that smoke to go away, drops out the can of fire, slows them down even longer, so different way of doing so in terms of how Mirage was an instant smoke battle that covered off NiP's line of sight. This time they're using the nades just to slow down their push in terms of timing. And it's worked because they've fallen out of Banana. They're going to head immediately over to A. Freiburg and Get Right don't have a read on this yet, though, so they won't be on the rotation so soon. So it's going to come down to a 5-on-3 take on the A site, and Forrest is making it a 5-on-4 as he gets one more, make it a third. Look at how good he is at the backside of that truck. Just dangles in and out of the backside of the window. And already they're down, but 2 kills to respond. Taz makes it 3. And here comes your 2B players. The bomb plant's very important for Virtus.pro right now.
Well, Taz can absolutely pull some magic off here. And getting that bomb down and already 3 kills is damage enough, but what else can Taz do? He's picked up the M4, and he's going to be assaulted now. Both players from quad side. They want an easy trade if need be, but it won't come to that. Get Right will pick up the kill, and despite getting the 3 kill there from Forest, it wasn't enough to actually stop them. It's just only picking up 1. Certainly meaning that Virtus.pro are going to feel really good about that, because they're going to know now that NiP are going to have to rebuy quite a lot of weapons, and they're going to be much closer within an eco than otherwise they would have been. And NiP got a big lead on the money when they were actually able to eco Virtus.pro. So this is a good way to get themselves slowly but surely back into the game. And the AWP is on Pasha now.
And that's important because, as we mentioned in the pregame, he's an excellent T-side op on this map. Taz going against Forest, though, that's deep in the apartment, so this is early map control for NiP, or at least attempting to be early map control. No kill dealt. Lots of damage going the way of VP, though, as Snacks now tries to find the off angle and fire through the window in toward the bedroom, hopefully catch out on Forest, but he's already gone. He's already back inside the site.
Now, the interesting thing to me is that NiP have been more consistently than normally that you would expect, playing 2 men from arch side, and this could very well be a read as to how they see that Virtus.pro usually try to take A, and it could, because the typical way is to isolate the player that's on arch side by smoking him off, and then having to just going straight through quad and balcony. Now, if Virtus.pro have a different style to that, NiP could try to be countering that, but the flash comes in, and the peek out from Exist only picks up a single kill. Forest able to trade, and they are going to get the better of this exchange. Very important as Virtus.pro pick up no map control from that exchange, and are down a couple men to boot.
Look at Get Right, already deep in Banana, so they know it has to be A. He knows they're trying to execute. He's going to walk out, not getting the first shot, or does, pardon me. Takes down Pasha easy. And then Bialy drops immediately after. Double headshot. I thought he was going to miss on that first one, but gets it. And that's just NiP taking away everything from VP. Nowhere to go. Process of elimination, deep into the round. And down Get Right goes.
Yeah, I really still want to... I'm really curious whether or not Virtus.pro have like some kind of a round where they do barrel up the arch side, and whether that's what NiP are playing against. Oh my goodness! Now they're just popping down here. They know that their money's terrible, so they can freely take those peaks on middle with rifles. So it's smart to get the early pick off. But yeah, it's quite interesting how well NiP are starting off at the moment.
The other thing is you've got Forest over on that truck side, so by stacking up Arch, you've got one of the best truck side players in the game. And we saw, as soon as Alu was the only one left, speaking of Alu, takes down Snacks, and oh my goodness, Forest just through the smoke annihilates Taz, and there you go. It's Passion to drop as well, so very successful anti-eco. But to go back to that other round, Alu was over. Exist went down. He went out on that initial peak with that flash in from Forest, who tried to flash him over the top. He only got the one kill. They then came out to try and take down Alu, and we saw Forest immediately go, all right, I know Exist is down. They're going to try and take that control. I'm going to leave pit. Walked out, got 2 kills instantly there. So he's very aware on that side of the map.
And I actually have to quickly mention that I love how Exist knows exactly where to point his crosshair despite the smoke being down, and knowing kind of like the timing to spam, because he got like 2 frags there straight through, and that's consistent there. He knows the angle perfectly. Just has to be lucky with when the players are crossing, as Forest fell back from quad side. But now we're into the next round, and we have another buy from Virtus.pro, and NiP are starting to run away with things here, so can they get the better of some of these peaks? Now, NiP is showing a little bit of aggression here on middles, and got to be careful with this, because if Virtus.pro get an early pick on middle, that applies so much pressure, and they're going to hammer NiP down on this A-bomb site. So they have to absolutely not give up a free one at the very least, and make sure that the trades are alive. And first time we're going to see Exist up here on the quad roof.
And he makes good of it so far. Makes it doubly good. Snacks to drop as well. Forrest comes out and helps him out with Bialy, so 3 down already in NiP. Their defense looking so sure today. They've got to watch out, though. Taz has found a way into Forrest, drops into pit behind them. Exist is on very low HP, so this gives him an opportunity to try and find one more player. But they're swarming him. They're coming in from all angles, and they know the bomb's already down underneath the atrium, so there it is. Taz to drop, 6-2.
Yeah, look at that money. Freiburg's on 15k. This guy's died twice at the moment in the 9 rounds. That is quite funny. And I mean, part of the reason is because Virtus.pro haven't really been hitting B all that much, and Get Right's the same. He's only died twice as well. He's been picking up some easy flanking kills also. Virtus.pro almost like they're stuck in the mud as they're trying to move up middle each time. And we're going to see Ali go for a little bit of a pre-nade here. But they're still playing 2 players often towards arch side. Again, very, very cool little play. We haven't seen it actually matter too hugely just yet, because Virtus.pro haven't been able to really get this deep into middle that often. And this round is going to be no different to begin with. Now, they've got a few players slowly working banana control, and that's also quite a fearsome task up against Freiburg and Get Right. But Freiburg and Get Right are playing a different setup than they used to. Get Right being the forward man and Freiburg playing back on the site. Usually it's the other way around. And that's good to see them continually making themselves a little bit unpredictable. And Virtus.pro now up banana and in apartments, so they have some map control. And they get the better of these early exchanges.
There it is, Get Right and Freiburg so good together. Smoking off Get Right as soon as he knows he has to cross, but look out on A because Taz has Exist. Forrest, though, in his customary position, dodging the first flash. But they won't go on him just yet. They're actually going to try and work more toward the arch side based on that smoke they put on him, and they catch out Get Right on the rotation, so now they'll come around from front library and come at the site from all angles. Alu's going to fall back as a result of it and try and play deep within the site as Forrest drops. That Snacks that finds him, and Alu onto Taz, but he's only got 1, make it 2. Oh! Make it 3, Alu! Unbelievable play from him as he stays alive, and that's why he fell back in the site. So smart. but it's still a 1-on-2. But he ran out of time because of it. He dropped the bomb planter, and Pasha couldn't get to it in time.
My
So
God.
Alu, an unbelievable, exceptional play from him.
How did that even happen? He managed to pick up, what's that, 3 quick kills with the M4? I don't understand. Please, Zadicus, explain how that was even possible. When people talk about NiP magic, that's what it is.
It's just get overlooked. They didn't even consider to
inexplicable
check
clutches. That should never have happened. And
the angle. Oh, he's not done.
Oh, he's going to make it worse for them. These peaks are unreal. Only picking up 1 there. The double looking good for him, but already with 2 kills to boot. Before Virtus.pro have had a chance to respond. NiP are rubbing salt into the wound at the moment. They are hammering Virtus.pro.
Now we're getting back to sort of the Mirage style we saw. The confidence from NiP right now. Look at Alu just rush down mid, catch them on ult like that. That's not an everyday, well, I won't say an everyday, but not an every round play, that's for sure from Alu. So he's definitely feeling it right now. Luckily, they get 1 kill back into Get Right to try and find them something in this round. But again, 2 men down and no map control.
This is kind of starting to look a little bit like Mirage. But we'll come back to that in a moment. We do have byali trying to get a duel there. And again, it's one of those situations where you've got to go for the high risk, high reward play. He's got to win a couple of duels, and he tries to pop flash himself out. It didn't go quite his way, unfortunately, for byali. We're going to get a pause coming in, and it will give us a moment to reflect on the current situation. So we have this 8-2. To me, it's feeling like Mirage because, like Mirage, on the T side, nothing Virtus.pro is, nothing they're doing is actually working. NiP are proving to have just the best possible counter setups, and they are hitting every single shot against Virtus.pro.
So it looks like we've got a brief pause that's going to come in right now because Pasha somehow is disconnected from the server.
And you know what the crazy thing about this is that Virtus.pro, they picked up the first 2 rounds. The 8 rounds since that NiP have won have been back to back to back. There hasn't been a situation where NiP has money screwed Virtus.pro, because normally that's where you'd see loads of rounds come more easily, because, oh no, now they have to, like, they've used all their money, the bonus reset, they have to eco, and, you know, the emotion goes for them. And as you pointed out there, they look distraught.
Dejected.
They look completely deflated.
It looked like we were going to see a bit of a return to form from them after the last month. They started to get some rounds. They got the pistol in this one. Then they walked into that stack. I mean, they walked into that 3rd round. They walked into a B stack without even trying to get any information on A at all. Snacks was lurking over there. All he had to do was walk around the corner and go, okay, there's no one here. Let me go a little, I'm in the A site all of a sudden. He didn't even try to get that information for his team. And look what happened. And it's been all downhill since. We have
to give it, of course, to some of these unreal clutches coming in from some of these players from NiP.
That was the best chance VP had in a while.
The thing is, you look at that situation, it reminds me of some of these spots where people rush down Kenny S when he's like got his back to the wall and he just no-scopes everyone. It wasn't quite as crazy as that, but you could clearly see that they were like, well, he's got an M4. We can just run at him and he will die. He's going to run out of bullets, but somehow he held his nerve and was able to just pick up multiple kills to buy the time to just win the round as Freiburg was still alive. That's just ridiculous. That should never have happened. And Virtus.pro keep finding themselves in these situations where things that shouldn't happen to them. And it seems like it's starting to get to them. We can see on their faces right now, they're looking for answers, all of them. I hope that their communication doesn't suffer, because usually if a team is losing morale, the communication is the first thing to suffer. And when that happens, there is a complete breakdown. And it's also when you need your motivator. This is when we need Peter with the Julies behind them, just motivating everyone.
Peter the Positive.
If he was here, you can bet he would get Cuban. He would shove him aside, grab his headset, and start screaming at the Virtus.pro guys, and be like, "Come on, guys, you can do it!"
Fist pump, hard
he'd bring him back.
On the back. I didn't actually catch what Pasha's scoreline was before he left the server, but to give sort of an indication of the type of game it's been, not only just in terms of the fact that it's 8-2, but in the fact that they're not even finding the kills. Taz has the most. Well, I guess byali and Snacks are tied, but they have 4 kills.
Yeah.
After. Well, we're going into the 11th round. After 10 rounds, that's all they've got. And again, I didn't see what Pasha was at before that. I think he was actually slightly higher because I know he got a double in 1 round previously. That's unacceptable. You're not even finding these picks. And that's the same thing on Mirage. They couldn't get picks early, and they couldn't find any control as a result.
One of the things that they haven't really been toying with, I mean, we've seen them trying again and again to make these plays happen towards A. And most of the time we're seeing that exist is actually playing phenomenally on his A defenses, and they are actually managing to just shut them down or do so much damage by the time they get to the site. Forest is just that's having a laugh finishing them off. They almost never test the get right, the new get right Freiburg setup, which they're kind of consistently doing again and again, where get right's the front runner,
yeah.
and Freiburg's playing more support, but he can also be left inside there as get right's the first to use all of his grenades.
He's also the first to rotate in a lot of positions, so actually it's going to be a 3-stack right now for NiP early on with a nade stack over top of the back onto Banana, but
Very
no
smart.
one's there, so they're going to have to rotate back over toward A quickly as these Tech 9s are coming up. By the way, Pasha had 7, so he was slightly higher, as I said. And actually has a reasonable kill total, but here they come out of apartments. They've got to be careful. That fire's going to delay them a little bit longer. That's Forrest to put it out. And he's actually rounded the corner, so he's going to have to be careful, but it's 2 from him with the M4s, and somehow he gets away with his life against Tech 9s. Re-peeking, though, Neo will get him, but there's Exist. A double for him as well, and Get Right. Quick on the rotation as ever, 9-2. Great round again from NiP.
That was actually very well handled because NiP put 3 players towards B, expecting a fast B push. When no noise was really made after about like 10-15 seconds, they immediately got the rotation going towards A. And it's kind of like a basic timing principle where they're expecting if there's going to be a rush, a Tech 9 rush, which is why they would have 3 on B in that situation. That's one way they could really get blown up is having the B hit really fast. So they had the timings down on the rotations perfectly. And Virtus.pro, they just went with the A play. They didn't try to mind game them, and perhaps that could have gone better for them had they tried to do that and just done a really hyper slow push on B. But we're into the next round. It's a faster paced one up middle here from Virtus.pro.
Got to find a way to check off this cubby, though, because Exist is still waiting there. Forced to fall back inside the site this time. Slightly different angle. But again, Get Right's already inside the arches. Alu falling back toward the corner as well. There's Exist. He pops out. Gives away the fact that he's there. They'll have to get an answer quickly. Taz finds it. But there's the fire to slow them down, and Forrest finds Snacks on the other side. He's going to get more than that as he readdresses and gets aggressive out toward Boiler. And there's Get Right again. Mr. Rotation in this game as it has been, and Pasha on 9 HP as those pistol shots rang through the smoke. Couldn't find the last one he needed, but Alu will.
It feels like part of the problem as well on the A pushes that they're finding is, and again, we should remind ourselves that it's incredibly rare. You can just see from the fact that Freiburg has, okay, guys, Freiburg has 4 kills and 2 deaths. The reason is not because he sucks. Freiburg's a really good player, and he's probably one of the best B players in the world in CSGO. It's because they never go to B. They almost never go for the hardcore B hits. And so Freiburg, as a dedicated B man, is just not really getting any action. And they keep trying to get this A play again and again, and they never have a distraction for Forrest. He can quite easily come in and support. No one comes in from the balcony or the apartments to challenge him, and he can just easily focus his fire. They don't overwhelm them in a way that makes these fights really hard for NiP. And so far, that's been that, and not making the entries quickly enough has been the issues for them. But to be fair, the counter grenades are so on point from NiP.
And that's the big thing. I mean, even on Mirage, the counter grenades were excellent. Again, here they're utilized slightly different. They're not necessarily cutting off vision, but they're just holding up choke points. Obviously, that plays to the map style and what is needed and what is suited. So VP will throw out one more smoke. That's going to go left side of mid over toward the arch, but they're going to fall back and try and set up for this banana take. NiP's reading it again, though, because Forrest and Alu are so far up inside Boiler and apartments, they heard them rotate back. They know there was only nades thrown. There's no one else trying to get anything out today. They have to be B. So Exist is already primed on Speedway and waiting for this rotation. There it is. That's his invitation. Another counter smoke out, and VP's stunned. They can't go through just yet. Finally, they try. Freiburg's going to spam away. He's already got one. He's looking for more, but he runs out of ammo. Luckily, Get Right. Oh, my goodness, Get Right through the smoke. How are you so brilliant in those positions? And now it's going to be Freiburg. Bomb down. All that's left is Snacks. Great read from Exist to get back over, and NiP are looking absolutely unfazed.
Maybe this is why they don't go B. I mean, it could very well be. I mean, the thing is, the B holds are so strong for NiP, but you can't over-respect. You can't give a team too much respect. You have to, that just cannot happen, and they need to find ways to break all their setups. So far, their A plays are not working. So far, they're not able to distract Forest. So far, they're not able to find the plays on B either. I mean, where do they turn? Well, certainly not into Ali's crosshair. That's certainly also a place
not ideal.
That is to be feared, as this guy is racking them up one after another. 3 more to find, and, well, how much do they want to kill Alu here? Looks like they want to kill him pretty badly. They are pushing up regardless. Pasha will take down Exist as the nades do come over. Goes for the peak, and Alu will go down. So punching a hole into the A side of things and evening it up.
And Exist came out to support, but when he went down, oh, get right, they line up. That's bomb down. Again, his timings on these rotations from NiP are so good. And Forrest, the last one to drop. No, Pasha gets the better, so hat trick for him in the round. But only 23 HP and the bomb's down. Freiburg's already pushed Banana as a result, and there you go. He's down and out. We're looking at another extremely one-sided scoreline as we get into the last of the half. I do want to say, obviously it's hard to criticize NiP right now in the way they're playing defense, but I have seen that be a trend where Exist will try and support out Alu and will drop, and Alu goes for the repeak. He missed the shot there. If he had to hit it, no problem. He missed the shot there and he went down. That actually made it 3-on-3. That could have been an awkward situation, so NiP needs to be a little more careful of that.
It's the kind of liberty they can take having such a huge amount of rounds to just really destroy their opponents, take those bigger risks with that buffer. But yeah, I mean, it's at the moment they can't do anything wrong, and they're really showing their confidence in how this match has so far gone. And not a single buy round from Virtus.pro has been won on the T side. There is something wrong in that statement. And NiP are good, but Virtus.pro, respectively a top 4 team in the world, consistently a top 4 team, never really a top 2 team, but they can always take games off any of the best here. But today it's looking like something different, and already losing quite a few men early on as Exist pulls out the auto sniper. He always loves to go to the auto sniper when he can, and this is certainly a good moment for it. Yeah, we'll take the frag on to Get Right as Freiburg holds them off on the other end of Banana, and they get the kill. Pasha at least is stepping up for his team. Huge frags in the previous round, and now it's a 2-on-2.
The auto sniper of Exist spams away. Look at the damage dealt. 7 and 9 HP respectively now. They do get the bomb plant. It's the last round. It doesn't matter for money. They've got to play for the win, and they're going to have to find Forrest. Not going to happen. Easily walks around. Neo second-guessing himself, checking both angles, and guesses incorrectly. Pasha, though, inside Emo. Oh, great shot on Forrest. Gives himself a chance. An unbelievable play. He actually gets onto Exist. 9 HP is all you need when you've got biceps like that, and he flexes them from Emo, and they at least get a third round, much to the appeasal of the crowd. Yeah,
that was beautiful there from Pasha, but again, it feels like he's the only one at the moment stepping up. Look at the frags for his team. Pasha's on 14. The rest of his team hovering between 4 and 6. That is unbelievable that there is such a poor performance across the board on the kills for Virtus.pro at the moment, and only Pasha's able to be making some frags. And this really goes to show essentially what has been happening. And the reason why we potentially have seen so few B hits is because Virtus.pro are probably saying, hey, the movements we're doing towards A are good. What we have to do is just hit the shots. What we're doing is working. We're just not executing. So they're just trying to just keep going for it and going for it. And eventually they're saying, hey, we'll get the execute. It's not the play guys, it's us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And perhaps that's the case because right now, of course, Pasha's the only one who's really stepping it up. So we're going to be going into the CT half here. We have kicked off with the pistols. Let's jump back into the game, guys, as we have already Bialy a little bit aggressive in the apps. And let's see if he finds anything on this little information gathering hunt. Looks like he won't at the moment.
And they need to get this information quick because they've gone for a 3B play here, and they're actually going to push Banana to go for the rotate, so Pasha, Neo, and Snacks are coming in behind. Taz and Bialy need to find a way to stay alive, but they're getting swarmed. They've come around from the front of Library, and Freiburg's already got Taz, so Bialy needs to be extremely careful, not careful enough. Get Right found him, bomb already down, and again, it looks like NiP's going to win the pistol round of the second half, even with this giant lead. Virtus.pro Eco defined the life last time. They're going to have to do more than that. Freiburg catches Neo, and there it is. The last is down. That's Pasha. So 13-3. Again, another pistol.
They
should be able to put themselves on to match point if they don't run into a stack from VP.
They just need to find the inner Virtus plow, because right now we're seeing the opposite of that. I don't know what it would be. I'm
Ninjas
sure.
and plow.
Well, I mean...
Still NiP.
I mean, I don't know what they're pushing around a wheelbarrow at the moment. I don't know what's going on, but we'll have to see if Virtus.pro can start hitting those shots. Because you can see there is a lack of confidence, of course. And NiP looking good to just shut this one out after winning that pistol. And we would see on these pistol duels in that round that there's generally a lack of connections coming in from Virtus.pro, not hitting their shots today, and it is certainly demoralizing for them as NiP are looking Very, very passive at the moment, looking to see if Virtus.pro are going to go aggressive first of all. They got the time to kill, so why not use it?
Of course, and that smoke again will just delay NiP a little further. Exists, though, still checking the corner because it is rather shallow for a smoke to come out. In fact, he's found a home inside that corner as a result. We'll see how far into the B side he wants to go because Neo and Snacks are both actually in on the cubby. He might get all the way around the corner before he gets spotted. That flash, though, that gives him away, and he has to bail out. Meanwhile, over at A, it's Forrest around the corner. Taz down as a result. That's one for NiP with the SMG, and he's looking for more, still pushing in. Yali tries to take the fight, can't do it. Get Right takes down Pasha in the meantime. So Forrest with 2, Get Right with 1, and only Neo and Snacks left. They got to come over back toward A because Get Right's going to put this bomb down any second.
And it's looking quite clean here for Ninjas in Pajamas, as Virtus.pro struggled to get all that much on their eco. Ali going to finish off the last one in Neo and get that extra cash, which is really nice considering he is the AWPer for the team. And we can see he's got significant amount of cash, but there's no real reason for him to buy up at the moment, as he can just keep rolling in with the UMP and see if they can just get a quick match point round going for themselves, as we see the save coming in from Virtus.pro. They realize that they need full nades. They realize that they need all the tools to be able to do this, and they're not going to force it up. Instead, they're going to play for the overtime here. And I think that's a smart play from Virtus.pro, to be honest. And oh my god, they're getting decimated. Absolutely crushed on the push from NiP. They're going to take over the B bomb site. Bomb's still down, and Taz is meandering around in the apps with 6 points of health, and they know where he is.
6 points of health and only 6 kills in the match. This is not a VP we're used to seeing at all, especially on land. So bomb goes down. They're trying to find him. He's out toward Boiler now. Exist coming one way, Get Right far down middle in from the other. Actually spots him up as he tries to go back through the door. So now Taz is dancing around. He just wants to save the gun. Please leave me alone, but it's going to be match point. NiP on 15.
Yeah, very rude awakening here today for Virtus.pro against NiP. Of course, they're not going to be down and out just yet after this series, but still, they're going to have a lot to think about when they go back to their hotel later on. A lot to think about, or perhaps maybe not. Maybe they would just chalk it. Yeah, maybe they just brush off and chalk it down to say it was just a bad day. We got a second chance. Let's just go into it and not let this affect us and move forwards. But we're going to see the plant pot boost there over the top of the smoke, and I think Virtus.pro were wise to that, but they didn't actually see the player there in time, so they won't get a pick. Sorry, as Ali is on the boiler angle, and this is commonly a spot where you can actually see AWPers trying to counter, and it's very smart from Ali to be there. But these pushes from NiP not looking so good at the moment. Get Right without the proper support to get the trade.
Alu and Forrest are pushing back out of apartments to go join up with Exist because Bialy, Taz, and Pasha are now all on the A site and getting aggressive toward NiP's position. So with Get Right down and Forrest on 1 HP, VP is looking to find a way back into this game before it's too late. This round goes and it's all over. The series is over, and NiP would have the most dominating performance of the day. They're going to head toward B. Alu and Forrest join up with Exist and Freiburg, and Exist is going to be your first man in. They've got to watch out, though, because it's the back of sight and over by Spools. In fact, Neo's already in Emo early on, which oftentimes catches teams off because you normally only check that post plant, and there it is. He's going to find Alu. Snack's already got 1 kill before that, and the two of them together combine and just annihilate NiP. There's no way into the site there.
Yeah, I fear that it's certainly too little too late at this point. Virtus.pro going to be climbing back against an incredible obstacle. They've got to get 11 in a row. That is insane against NiP as well. And the fact is that NiP themselves, they picked up, like 13 rounds in a row as well. They didn't lose a single buy round against Virtus.pro. It just didn't happen.
Yeah,
it's insane.
3 to 14, so it was like 11 or 12 rounds.
That's ridiculous. And we're going to see Virtus.pro forced to hold a fast play up middle here from NiP, and Bialy gets completely annihilated as they move in. Pasha going to fall back, and it's between him and Taz now as they have to hold for the reinforcements to arrive, but Pasha goes down, leaves Taz with everything to do, and he won't get it done. 2 on 3 now for Virtus.pro, Snacks and Neo.
Alu plants, but he knows they're up close, so he can't cross back over. Now he can. He has the smoke to do it if he wants to, but he wants to get aggressive. He wants to find them early. He's not going to do it. He gets too aggressive because just before that get right went down, so Forrest in a lonely 9 HP 1-on-2. Gives his position away as well. A questionable shot. Thought he had him in that. Yeah, there it is, the fire. With 9 HP, it's an easy kill. So that'll get the defuse, and again, Virtus.pro putting up a fight late. We're not done just yet.
Yeah, Virtus.pro going to claw tooth and nail to get themselves back into this one. And at the moment, they are winning, picking up these rounds. A lot of damage was done by NiP, and they can really play. This truly is the war of attrition, because if NiP, they only need 1 round. So this is basically the situation where they can just buy every single round. And if they continue to just get damage done after damage done, eventually Virtus.pro won't be able to buy enough nades. That's going to be the first problem. Then the FAMAS is going to start coming into play, and the lack of an AWP. And eventually they're just going to have nothing left, and NiP will be able to more easily roll over them on a site push. And that's the kind of game that NiP can play. But push coming in from Banana is looking not too bad, but they are a man down.
So good kill from Neo's. Rather good kills from Neo to start that off. Smoke's still out there. They want to try and flash through it. Snacks is up close, and it's an easy double. They're not going anywhere through there, and Pasha to close out on Freiburg. So again, shut down before they can enter. Can't do anything.
Wait, is this an eco round from NiP? Is this like the first time we've seen this in like 2 maps?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like right now, because I don't know when this last actually happened.
We've got Tech 9s, okay.
They're going to go for the Tech 9s.
Not surprising.
It is. I mean, it's definitely smart. They can still get the buy-in. They could. I wouldn't have been surprised again if they had just gone just forced up with all their money. Actually.
Oh, they got to be careful. They're going up alt mid right now. Bialy's okay. So I thought he was going to go into Boiler. Pasha was setting up for it as well. I was going to say they could have got caught out before they even get to the apartments, but they want to try and take A right now and just waterfall into the site with these Tech 9s and completely catch them off guard. Taz is setting up for it, though. He's in Graveyard, which is actually a good secondary angle to hold and help out. There it is. The first shots come out. Bialy gets the kill. They actually counter out on Taz, so it's Freiburg with the shot, but here's Pash on the rotation. 1 for him already. He's got to be careful. His teammates have dropped, and the Tech 9 so far have reigned supreme. Snacks, though, from range. Does get Freiburg. Bomb's still not down, but Forrest has picked up this off. Oh, whiffs on the shot. That's a huge one, because that would have changed everything. That might have made it all too late, but Exist still finds Neo, and there it is. They'll get it anyway. So an eco to close out the game.
They didn't even force it up. They just